So the last great feast of the North End takes place on Endicott Street here to the left. That's called the Feast of St. Anthony. Last weekend in August. Okay, so up ahead we go. Can you pull up those screens now?
I'm going to.
Okay. Okay. So who's been to the Quincy Market before? Yeah, we got a few. Okay, so you know what it's about. On either side of the food court, they have the restrooms. There's the North Market and the South Market. You're going to take a right turn up ahead. Two warehouses that flank the food court. Josiah Quincy was the mayor in the 1820s.
Yep. Here.
Not right here, up ahead, but yeah. You'll take a right here and then a left on Congress. And Faneuil Hall, the Cradle of Liberty, is in the front of it. Red brick building. Seeds of the Revolution planted there. I'm going to show it all to you. Now, the first British settler to come to Boston was Reverend William Blackstone, and he built himself a log cabin on what we now call Beacon Hill. And there's a to the left, there's the New England Holocaust Memorial, been there since 1994, and the Union Oyster House on the other side. Bacon and Atwood would add an oyster bar there in 1819, and then a few years later it would be called the Union Oyster House. So all Blackstone block. Faneuil Hall, the Cradle of Liberty, is coming up on the left-hand side. Grasshopper weather vane on the symbol, on the weather vane on the top, the symbol of commerce. The City Hall is up ahead. Mayor's office affords him a good view of the marketplace. So it's four different buildings. The brick building coming up on the left, and then the three long warehouses behind it, and that's where you'll be for your dinner and shopping. Okay, sun shining on it. There's Faneuil Hall, 1742. There's the Grasshopper weather vane, and the Customs House Tower with the clock face dial. In 1915, that was our original skyscraper, 495 feet tall. Now timeshare condominiums owned by the Marriott Corporation. Take a right turn up here. So we're going to see the old State House coming up. You can take it from this side, yeah. Old State House, where the British governed from. 1713, the oldest public building in the country. We're going to get another look at it when we come back down the Freedom Trail. The lion and the unicorn, symbols of British power, you'll see it in a moment, were taken down and burnt when the Declaration of Independence was first read on the balcony the 18th of July, 1776. For about 100 years, we never had the lion and the unicorn. Now they're back there. And in the front of the building, to get the rest of the colony upset about the British on patrol in Boston. So look to the left, you'll see the circle of cobblestones, the balcony where the Declaration of Independence was first read, the 18th of July, 1776, read in Philadelphia, Independence Square, on the 8th of July, and then it made its rounds to the colonies. Now this side to the left coming up ahead, you'll see the American Eagle. So we call this the American side. This is Washington Street down to the left. Downtown Crossing, Macy's department store there. We're going to take a left at the top of the street. Old Filene's Bargain Basement, Jordan Marsh, all long gone. Now in the old days, if you couldn't read or write, you looked to a shop sign or a weather vane to see what they were selling. Might see our City Hall Plaza and the Government Center subway stop. There it is. Believe it or not, before they put it up there, they held a contest to see how many people they could squeeze in there. 8 small boys and a man in a tall silk hat. All right, so following the Freedom Trail, Boston's oldest burial ground will come up on the left. We were standing in front of the second oldest. This one, the King's Chapel burial ground, it's where Governor John Winthrop rests. William Dawes, the riding companion of Paul Revere, and a woman named Mary Chilton, supposedly the first woman, get in this right lane, to put her foot on Plymouth Rock. Came over in the Mayflower. She and her husband moved to Boston. Dunkin' Donuts. Why do we have so many Dunkin' Donuts? They're from here. Quincy, Massachusetts. Man was selling donuts and coffee off a canteen truck in the 1950s. He opened up a coffee shop. The original Dunkin' Donuts was a plain donut with a handle, and you dunked it in your coffee. Dunkin' Donuts.
I didn't know that. I knew that they would come up here, but I didn't know about the push cart. That's cool. It's amazing what you can do. Really. What?
So King's Chapel burial ground. Old slate markers. Here lies my wife. She had to die. She is at rest, and so am I. Here lies the body of Jonathan Bly. Fell from a roof. Could not fly. And there's the King's Chapel. Very similar to Old North Church. This was the site of the first Anglican church in New England. It was wooden. In 1686, and less than 100 years later, they built the granite around it and threw the wood out the door during church services. Now Unitarian, and they say those columns are original tree trunks to the first church. Do you like Boston cream pie? Up ahead here, Parker House Hotel is where it was created in 1856. A chef was putting about a quarter of a bottle of rum into the batter. Official dessert in Massachusetts, no longer with the rum. There's a picture of it coming up ahead there. And then School Street is down to the left. We'll be back here. First public school in America, later called the Boston Latin School, was there. 1635, now out in the Fenway area. There's the Freedom Trail in the sidewalk on the right-hand side. There's Boston cream pie and Parker House Rules on the left-hand side. John F. Kennedy becomes a representative of Massachusetts in 1946. His maternal grandfather, John Fitzgerald, the mayor in Boston over 100 years ago, throws a big party for him here. Malcolm X was a busboy here in the 1940s. Earlier than that, Ho Chi Minh was a pastry chef. So coming up on the right